This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Thursday, January 15, 2026. Young Jamaica slams opposition spokesman on health over response to the AG's report into UHWI. Immigration attorney cautions Jamaicans applying for permanent residency in the U.S. to await confirmation from the U.S. Embassy before making it. PAAC summons JPS CEO to Parliament for update on electricity restoration work since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. In regional news, TNT to introduce zones of special operations to reduce crime. In international news, European troops arrive in Greenland as talks with U.S. highlights disagreement over island's future. In sports, Jamaican spinner helps West Indies bowl out Tanzania early in ICC Under-19 World Cup opener a short while ago. And in business, UK economy posts 0.3% growth for November. The details after the break.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The youth arm of the governing Jamaica Labour Party, JLP Young Jamaica, has criticized the opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, for his response to the Auditor General's report into the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI. Young Jamaica, in a statement on Wednesday, says Dr. Dawes' utterances that a failure of ministerial oversight is to be blamed for the findings at the hospital is barefaced and disingenuous. The group instead is demanding that Dr. Dawes tell the country whether a company owned by a PNP parliamentarian is among the beneficiaries of what the Auditor General has described as the inappropriate use of UHWI's tax exemption status in breach of Jamaican law. Young Jamaica is further questioning if Dr. Dawes has at any time been a founding member or partner of a company owned by a colleague PNP parliamentarian which the Auditor General has reportedly described as being the beneficiary of inappropriate use of UHWI's tax exemption status in breach of Jamaican law. The group also questioned if Dr. Dawes at any time had any professional or personal association with any such entity. Meanwhile, Young Jamaica says it welcomes the findings of the Auditor General and the decision of the Health Ministry to establish an institutional review committee to address governance and accountability gaps uncovered in the audit. The committee is to be led by former private sector organization of Jamaica President Howard Mitchell. Additionally, Young Jamaica says it welcomes the decision of the Board of Directors of UHWI to call in the Police Fraud Squad to probe reports that private companies were beneficiaries of the inappropriate use of the hospital's tax exemption. Now, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI, Patrick Hilton, says the findings of the Auditor General's report on the hospital's operations are deeply disturbing. The report, which was tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, highlights numerous irregularities, including more than $500 million in payments to contractors for which no supporting procurement documents exist.
If you look at even my own background, I must tell you, I've never experienced anything like this. I've never even remotely considered. I come out of an environment where compliance and, the adherence to good governance and so on is part of the DNA. So all of this is a big surprise and, very disturbing. And so we are committed to pursuing it to its logical conclusion. I understand that people will be very concerned and upset about it as we were, but we also have to recognize that there's a process we need to go through to deal with these things. Otherwise, we run the risk that we could have regret later about how we proceeded.
The damning report prompted the UHWI board to ask for the intervention of the Police Fraud Squad. Amid the audit revelations was that the hospital unlawfully used its tax-exempt status to import goods on behalf of at least 3 private companies. Sources indicate that at least one of the 4 companies identified by the Auditor General as having received tax-exempted supplies and equipment through UHWI is owned by a prominent politician. Hilton says he became aware of the irregularities only after reviewing the first draft of the report late last year. He declined to address specific details, noting that the matter remains under active investigation. He also refrained from naming the companies or the politician allegedly involved.
The Auditor General hasn't named them. I don't think it is appropriate to name one particular company or one particular category of persons who may have been involved. It is all going to come out soon enough, I think, right? Because there's a process that we're going through. Like I said, the process is advanced, and I wanted to follow the process.
But you know who the company...
I'll be putting myself at risk. I know the name, but I'm not at liberty to disclose them publicly.
Can you say whether sitting members of parliament own these companies?
I wouldn't want to comment on that either.
But you do know the answer?
I know the answer.
Patrick Hilton, chairman of the board of directors at the University Hospital of the West Indies. He was speaking during Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Hilton rejected suggestions that the board failed in its oversight responsibilities.
There was a board which existed before September.
Was they a failure?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that board was a failure. This report was a period from 2019 to 2025, right? And what we have seen is that many of the practices would have predated the previous boards. There are a number of different aspects and components to it which would have precluded the board from having the kind of insight it would have needed into what was happening in the compliance function. I mean, there are other areas where the board had focused its attention, and many of those areas, had received the benefit of that attention. It's just that for that particular period between March 2024 and March 2025, compliance was not part of the focus of the audit, the internal audit function.
Patrick Hilton, chairman of the board of directors at the UHWI. Attorney at law Wayne Golding is advising Jamaicans applying to permanently live in the U.S. that they must not run the risk of selling or giving away their possessions before getting confirmation of approval from the U.S. Embassy. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday.
We advise them, do not change your life until you get a full approval. It's always our advice to them, do not sell your house, do not stop going to school, do not quit your job, do not sell your land, don't start giving away stuff until you're actually granted that visa. So now this pause, which is indefinite, will mean that the processing time will be longer, and not only that, they can refuse your visa without even telling you why, an immigrant visa. And sadly, there's no form of appeal in those situations.
An immigrant visa is a document allowing foreign nationals to permanently live in the United States while they await the issuance of a green card. Jamaica is one of 75 countries listed by the U.S. State Department for which the processing of immigrant visas has been suspended indefinitely. The pause will take effect on January 21. The suspension will not apply to those Jamaicans seeking visas to study, visit as tourists, travel for business, or to take up employment on seasonal work programs. Wednesday's announcement is the latest in a string of steps taken by the Trump administration in its crackdown on illegal migration. Golding says there's more to come.
It depends on who's in the headlights, so to speak. I've seen them use it as a tool to enforce U.S. policy abroad or to get countries to kind of change their positions. But I expect worse to come, believe it or not. This is just the beginning. Yes, worse to come. Because during the last time that this administration was in power, they had put out certain things that they never got to do, including trying to eliminate the category where U.S. citizens can sponsor their siblings, which is one of the biggest beneficiary categories to people from the Caribbean.
Wayne Golding, attorney at law. The Public Administration and Appropriations Committee of Parliament, PAAC, has passed a motion summoning the CEO of the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, Hugh Grant, to provide an update on electricity restoration efforts since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The motion was passed at Wednesday's sitting of the committee, which is currently assessing the government's Hurricane Melissa relief efforts. Mahir Stewart reports.
PAAC Chairman Peter Bunting says JPS has ignored previous invitations to appear before the committee.
The committee has been grappling for some time with the JPS, who seems determined to avoid appearing before the committee. And, I think we were lenient for the first couple of months. We knew that they were grappling with a lot and they were overwhelmed. But I think the committee is at the end of its patience now.
He relayed to the committee JPS CEO Hugh Grant's reason for missing Wednesday's sitting.
The CEO had called me personally on Monday to say that he had planned to return to Kingston. Apparently he's based in Westmoreland now, but he had planned to come back into Kingston on Monday to, among other things, address this committee. He said there was a fatal accident involving a convoy of overseas linemen that had four fatalities, and that it was essentially they were traumatized and it had the potential to affect the ongoing restoration. And he felt it was important for him to be there to deal with the matters on the ground and ensure that restoration continued.
But Firebrand Committee member MP Everald Warmington rejected that explanation. He lashed out at the company for what he described as its continued disrespect of the PAAC.
Is he a doctor, a nurse? Does he drive a hearse? Look, this is the third time we've got excuses from JPS for not being here. I think it's a matter of level of disrespect and disregard for Parliament. If you have that disrespect and disregard for this committee, it means for Parliament. And I'm moving that way, issue summons or subpoena, whatever it is here, for them to appear before this committee. We cannot take this step of disrespect from any other institution, and they are the only one that appeared like this.
Bunting agreed with Warmington. He says the committee will use its powers to summon JPS to appear.
This committee will just pass a motion to summon the CEO of the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited to our next sitting, which would be on the 28th of January at 10 a.m. at Garden House. All in favor of this motion? Aye. Against? The ayes have it.
Both houses of Parliament or any standing committee have the power to order any person to attend before them to give evidence or produce documents. The order can compel a person to give evidence or to produce any paper, book, record, or document in their possession or under their control. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Member of Parliament for Northwest Manchester, Michael Phillips, is calling for a suspension of the Data Protection Act to allow MPs to receive information on which constituents have benefited from relief aid since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. He made the call during Wednesday's sitting of the PAAC.
We have to find a way that in the matter of an emergency like this, that there may have to be some suspension of the Data Protection Act. Because I can tell you that it happened in the hurricane prior to this, where more than one person in a household got a grant, a cash grant. I know of one who said that her daughter and her son got out of one household. They didn't use the money for what it was intended for. In this instance, no, I can guarantee that there are going to be one person in a household getting from you and another one getting from the Member of Parliament.
Phillips says he's struggling to accept that MPs are bypassed in the process of providing direct aid to people affected by Hurricane Melissa.
In an emergency, I find that the Members of Parliament are left out, and it's not just your agencies, basically right across government, as part of the response to constituents in our case. And we are generally the first respondent on the ground, ourselves and the councillors. And I find that even in the distribution of care packages, the Members of Parliament, before we got a pre-hurricane set of resources, which could not have been even dealt with until after the hurricane, and even then, there weren't any entities for us to purchase anything. When I asked the ministry for assistance, we were told that they're not going to be going through the Members of Parliament.
Michael Phillips, MP for Northwest Manchester. Meanwhile, in response to Michael Phillips, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Dion Jennings, says MPs play a crucial role in the disaster coordination process.
The Members of Parliament are part of the Parish Disaster Committee, and you can confirm that Members of Parliament are part of that committee. That's a base, and they're supposed to be active in their parish disaster committees. And in the parish disaster committees, there are several other entities. They have a key role, and part of that role is in the coordination, part of the referral as well. And if they have identified persons who need the assistance, we expect the Members of Parliament to indicate.
Dion Jennings, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. She was speaking at the PAAC meeting on Wednesday. In a major move, NCB Financial Group has underwritten more than $15 billion in senior secured financing to support Jamaica Broilers Group, JBG, as the company moves to stabilize its operations. This means NCB has committed to provide or secure the funds for JBG, even if it must initially carry some or all the financing on its own balance sheet. JBG is also seeking to execute a revised strategy following recent accounting and operational challenges in its overseas operations. Shalois Michael reports.
The financing support comes amid heightened scrutiny of JBG's U.S. business, where the company recently disclosed accounting matters that adversely affected cash flows, profitability, and its consolidated financial results. These issues forced the group to reassess its international expansion strategy and refocus on strengthening governance and oversight. CEO of NCB Capital Markets, Angus Young, says its support is grounded in the strength of JBG's core Jamaican operations and the corrective actions now underway.
We are encouraged by the approach being taken to address the matters identified in the group's U.S. segment and have designed bespoke financing solutions aligned with Jamaica Broiler Group's specific recovery and capital needs. With more robust corporate governance, transparency, and disciplined execution, we believe that Jamaica Broilers is well positioned to recover and deliver value to stakeholders and the wider economy. This $15.1 billion deal is a tangible demonstration of the scale and range of NCB Financial Group's capabilities and a direct product of the recent operational merger of our corporate and investment banking deal teams within NCB.
Under the arrangement, NCB Jamaica Limited will provide $6.4 billion in loans, and NCB Capital Markets Limited will arrange $8.7 billion in multi-tranche bonds with maturities extending up to 14 years. NCB also led negotiations with other domestic creditors to reset financial covenants and modify the collateral security package. These measures are intended to give JBG sufficient financial leeway to execute its recovery plan. Meanwhile, JBG's leadership has acknowledged the seriousness of the issues uncovered and has moved to tighten controls and oversight. Group President and CEO Christopher Levy says the company is implementing strong and decisive measures to bring the business back on track.
We're implementing a disciplined turnaround plan that places governance, oversight, and operational efficiency at the core of our business. We have strengthened our leadership, our financial controls, and transitioned to auditors with specialized sector experience. We brought our U.S. operations under our direct Jamaican supervision. With NCB's support, we are very confident in our ability to regain momentum and build shareholder confidence.
Levy stresses that despite the challenges abroad, JBG's domestic business has remained resilient. For the financial year ended May 31, 2025, the Jamaican operations delivered net profits of $2.5 billion and maintained an equity position of $16 billion. Levy says this underscores the strength of the local business at a time when the group was absorbing losses from overseas operations. Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:20.
Get a deal, share a smile and win with Digicel. Own a brand new Samsung Galaxy smartphone for as low as $9,500 plus tax. When you buy a SIM, activate a 28-day plan or switch to Digicel. And here's the best part, you could win $250,000 cash. The Digicel Gift a Smile promotion is authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period December 1, 2025 to January 24, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more ways to win and more reasons to smile this season. Digicel, reconnecting Jamaica, one smile at a time.
In regional and international news in Trinidad and Tobago, the government has signaled its intention to introduce zones of special operations, ZOSOs, to maintain the reduction in violent crime achieved under the current state of emergency SOE. The SOE is set to expire on January 31. Attorney General John Jeremy disclosed the plans at a news conference on Wednesday. He says the United National Congress administration plans to advance legislation targeting crime hotspots instead of imposing a national SOE. Jeremy explained that the proposed ZOSO framework will focus security measures on specific areas while incorporating checks and controls, judicial oversight, and time limits. The intention, he says, is to reap a tremendous drop in homicides and other major crimes. TNT recorded 369 murders in 2025, a 42% decline from 2024. It's the country's lowest murder tally since 2014. International troops from several European countries, including France, Germany, Norway, and Sweden, are arriving in Greenland to help boost the Arctic island security. The build-up comes after talks between representatives of Denmark, Greenland, and the U.S. on Wednesday failed to reach consensus over the U.S.'s intention to annex the territory. The Danish Defense Minister on Thursday said the intention is to establish a more permanent military presence with a larger Danish contribution. He said soldiers from several NATO countries will be in Greenland on a rotation system. Germany's defense ministry is set to deploy a reconnaissance team of 13 personnel on Thursday. France said its first French military elements were already en route, with others set to follow. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Managing your investments with Sagicor is now easy as ever. You can fund stocks, repos, and do more seamlessly. Even get a clear overview of your portfolio performance on the enhanced Sagicor eBank platform. Want to experience effortless investment banking on Sagicor eBank? It's as easy as ever. Contact your Sagicor Investment Wealth Advisor today and update your personal information for access. Call 888-SAGICOR or visit sagicor.com for more information.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Time now for your morning sports. Jamaica's Vital Laws took 3 wickets for 23 runs as the West Indies needed just 34 overs to bowl out Tanzania for 122 in their opening game at the ICC Under-19 World Cup in Namibia just over an hour ago. Laws was supported by Micah Mackenzie, 2 for 15, and Shaquan Bell, 2 for 23. Opener Dylan Thakkar, 26, made most runs for Tanzania, who were asked to bat. The West Indies, in reply, are currently 30 for 1 after 6 overs, requiring a further 93 to win. Zachary Carter was the man dismissed for 8. Jamaica will be hunting their first victory of the CWI Women's T20 Blaze when they face Barbados in the opening match of a triple header at Arnos Vale this Thursday morning. The Jamaicans are coming off a narrow 9-run loss to Leeward Islands in their tournament opener on Tuesday. Chasing a target of 109 for victory, Jamaica struggled to build momentum and were eventually restricted to 99 for 8 from their allotted 20 overs. Shadian Nation was the standout performer with the bat for Jamaica, top scoring with a patient 48. In the other matches of the day, Windward Islands take on Trinidad and Tobago in the second encounter, before defending champions Guyana face Leeward Islands in the final match of the triple header. Bangladesh's national cricketers have threatened a boycott of all forms of cricket unless Bangladesh Cricket Board Director M. Nazmul Islam resigns over disparaging remarks made against players on Wednesday. Nazmul, the BCB's Finance Committee chairman, said international cricketers should be asked to return the millions of dollars spent on them, arguing they failed to deliver results and did not deserve compensation if Bangladesh missed the upcoming T20 World Cup. The comments drew an immediate backlash from the Cricketers' Welfare Association of Bangladesh. The association says the remarks deeply hurt the cricket fraternity and warned that players would boycott all cricket if Nazmul does not step down. Montego Bay United will look to regain the lead in the Wren Nephew Jamaica Premier League when they visit the Edward Seaga Stadium to face Tivoli Gardens in one of 4 games on Thursday. Mobay are currently on 32 points, the same as Racing, but trail the St. Catherine-based team on goal difference. The other games involve Waterhouse away to Harbourview at Compound, Portmore United versus Spanish Town Police in a St. Catherine derby at Ferdinita Park, and Chapelton Maroons against Arnott Gardens at Turner's. All games are set to start at 3 p.m. Racing jumped to the top on Wednesday after a clinical 4-1 win over Treasure Beach at Druseland. Coach Anthony Patrick told Nationwide Sports that the team needs an out-and-out striker.
we still need that number 9. All those players are statistics score goal. All those players are midfielders, all in midfielders and wide players. No number 9, but we still manage to get 4 goals. But if we have a number 9 today, or that double number 9, I think with that the score margin will be wider, way wider.
Anthony Patrick. Finally, in your morning sports, the 11th Latin America Amateur Golf Championship tees off on Thursday at the Lima Golf Club in Peru, with Jamaica among participating countries. Zandre Roy and Ashay Hay are Jamaica's representatives at the tournament. They were among the golfers who took part in a pair of practice rounds on Tuesday, and Roy was upbeat about the condition of the course.
Just got to map it out and plan the best strategy going forward for the championships. The game is playing pretty well, hitting the ball pretty well, and with the right game plan heading into the week, I like my chances of playing well,
Zandre Roy is making his 3rd appearance at the tournament, while Hay is attending his 2nd. The field includes more than 100 golfers from 28 countries. The champion earns an invitation to the Masters, along with exemptions into the Open and the U.S. Open. And that's it for your morning sports.
This season is the time. Digicel is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digicel is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
In business this morning, Elon Musk AI tool Grok will no longer be able to edit photos of real people to show them in revealing clothing in jurisdictions where it is illegal. This after widespread concern over sexualized AI deepfakes. In an announcement, X said, "We have implemented technological measures to prevent the Grok account from allowing the editing of images of real people in revealing clothing." Reacting to the ban, the UK government claimed a vindication after Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer called on X to control its AI tool. A spokesperson for UK regulator Ofcom said it was a welcome development, but added its investigation into whether the platform had broken UK laws remains ongoing. Technology Secretary Liz Kendall also welcomed the move, but said she would expect the facts to be fully and robustly established by Ofcom's ongoing investigation. X's change was announced hours after California's top prosecutor said the state was probing the spread of sexualized AI deepfakes, including of children, generated by the AI model. The UK economy grew by a faster than expected 0.3% in November after car production rebounded and the services sector got a boost. The Office for National Statistics, ONS, said growth was driven by an increase in industrial output, helped by the return to production at Jaguar Land Rover's facilities following the cyber attack at the car maker. With the budget on November 26, there was also an increase in services driven by activities such as accounting and tax consultancy. Economists said they expected to see moderate positive economic growth for the final 3 months of 2025 and into the new year. November's growth figure was stronger than analysts' expectations of a 0.1% increase. Businesses across the construction, industrial production, and services sector told the ONS in November they were waiting to see the outcome of the autumn budget before making decisions. The monthly GDP figures are more volatile than the rolling 3-month data, which is considered to give a better underlying picture of growth. In foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has lost 14 cents and will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $158.70. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has lost 16 cents and will open selling for an average $114.13. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has lost $2.05 and will open trading, selling for an average $213.11 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:34.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Of only vanity and no love for humanity shall fade away.
Fade away.
Come again. Who thinks of only wealth and not for his physical health shall
fade away. A very good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. You're tuned into Nationwide this morning. NTM, thank you so much for coming on over. Betsy Powell says, pull up. Indeed.
Hey.
Good morning to all our YouTubers.
When them say we are queen and king, a morning radio, do they think people are joking?
Bible. Oh my goodness. Somebody says brop. Shelly-Ann says karaoke. And Eve, you said pull up selector.
Sure.
You hear that, Jermaine? But hello to our friends over there in the YouTube chat. Hello if you're joining us from Radioland. And good morning. Happy Thursday to our friends joining us from the app or from the website. Happy Thursday to you. Hope we find you well. I'm Tana Thomas.
My name George.
In the time that we do have George, I want to focus on the issue. Well, folks are talking about a number of things, but definitely this is one of the prominent ones. Mm-hmm. So on my mind this morning, I was thinking last night, George and listeners, that it's just January.
Yeah.
But there is already shaping up to be one that will focus heavily on diplomacy. Mm-hmm. With the fluidity in policies by the Trump administration in the U.S. and that the task at hand for Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith or Ambassador to Washington Anthony Anderson and our other diplomats, will be 10 times harder this year as they try to, eke out a negotiating space at the table for Jamaica and Jamaicans affected by those changing policies of the Trump administration. And yesterday, of course, you saw it. There was a panic on social media after the news broke that the U.S. was putting a pause on the processing of immigrant visas come January 21, and that the pause is indefinite. So no timeline when it will be lifted is what is being said here. And a part of that initial panic, some folks thought the policy movement, all visa processing. That is not so. Mm-hmm. For anybody who misunderstood that yesterday or even this morning. The pause applies to immigrant visa processing. An immigrant visa is a document allowing foreign nationals to permanently live in the United States while they await the issuance of a green card. Nevertheless, George or YouTubers listeners, this is and will be a major source of distress for Jamaican families here and in the diaspora. The indefinite nature of the pause, I would imagine, leaves thousands of families in a space of uncertainty. You're going to hear, perhaps, George, people saying, my son or my daughter fell in, did almost put through, or a February, my mother did an interview, and that now is just there. You're in limbo, really. And while the data of how many such people now stand in line or were being processed is not readily available to me, annually thousands of Jamaicans are processed and granted immigrant visas. 2021 data that I was looking at put the figure at 19,000 Jamaicans being granted U.S. permanent residence that year. Of course, the United States as well remains the primary destination for Jamaican migrants, which tells the story of what this policy change means. Many of us in our communities, we know a mother or a father or a child who has migrated. We've heard, by the way, how they were preparing for the filing, and you hear now their fears too. People coming out in their communities, by a shop, by the roadside, at church, to tell you about how this policy shift will affect their families. And I asked this morning, though, George, the argument placed on the table by the U.S. administration is that they are placing a pause on immigrants from countries who take welfare from the American people at unacceptable rates. And I question, is that really the case for Jamaica? Because Jamaicans are prideful people. Mm-hmm. What we know of Jamaicans is that when they move to foreign, the United States being the place here, we work hard. You're hearing of Jamaican stories about, listen, them have 2, 3, 4 jobs to look after their families, and many work to send back money to their relatives here in country. So I'm thinking at the negotiation table, our diplomats must seek out that evidence, show us the level of burden that Jamaican immigrants place on the American purse. Because one must question if the move to add Jamaica to that list can reasonably be justified. Is that really the case where Jamaicans are coming to your country? Mm-hmm. and they're putting on an unacceptable rate, because that's the language used, on the American purse. I mean, I have faith in our diplomats led by Minister Johnson Smith to get around the important tables and negotiate on Jamaica and Jamaicans' behalf on this matter, because many of you will recall that Jamaican diplomacy led to smoother waters for us in relation to the Cuban medical doctors program following visa threats by the U.S. You'll recall as well, our diplomacy again worked in having the U.S. travel advisory against Jamaica revised. The U.S. Secretary of State himself, Marco Rubio, told Jamaicans during his visit that the administration had seen the evidence of Jamaica's improved security environment leading to that revision. So I ask, what evidence does the U.S. have regarding adding Jamaica to the list of countries subjected to that pause of immigrant visa processing? Are we really a significant burden on the American purse that Jamaica would be added to the 75 countries? I think that's somewhere that our diplomats should start. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Anderson, and all the other diplomats who I'm sure will be working now to get around that negotiation table and seek out what is happening, why Jamaica has been added to the 75 countries where we are seeing this pause on immigrant visa processing indefinitely, set to start on January 21. For now, though, George, persons just have to sit and wait. You can't do anything else but sit and wait and watch and hope that, you know, the persons who can go around the table and ask the questions, make the appeal, and negotiate will do what they need to do. They have been able to do it before, and Jamaica has gotten good results out of that, as I've indicated here. Let's hope that will be the case for Jamaica again in relation to this policy change by the U.S. administration.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what's on my mind.
Operators of public passenger vehicles. The Transport Authority's motor vehicle inspection begins January 12. Get your vehicles inspected at any facilities in preparation for the upcoming licensing period. The time by the Transport Authority is
6:46.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Yo, check this out. This is Ding Dong Ravers, one of your patrons for the Sagicor Sigma Run 2026. And this year, we are bringing out the best as we run, walk, and wheel for the West.
Hi, this is Lisa Hanno, and I'm proud to be a patron for this run in aid of funds to repair and rebuild schools damaged by Hurricane Melissa.
Hey, Public Civil here. I spent my whole life trying to break records, but this record is going to be special.
We're aiming to raise a record $150 million for children in the West.
Well, everybody come jump up, lace up, wheel up, donate some money, everybody sign up. We are run for the West.
Sign up now at SagicorSigmaRun.com.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Time now for Street Smarts 1 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow. I don't see the camera on the streets and I don't hear Ludlow. Ah, here we go.
There we go.
Morning.
Morning, sir. Morning, sir.
Morning, Tony.
King, which shot is this? Is halfway tree? Oh, this is downtown Kingston. This is Parade. West Parade, I'm being told on the screen. Go ahead, Lord, go.
Yeah.
Oh?
Well, I want to see what can you see in the sky?
No, we're not. We're not seeing the sky, so we're not seeing the sky. We're seeing the streets.
The street. Well, it's partly cloudy and it's not bright yet, but that side of downtown, I'm not in that side. But I'm on the Portmore leg. I'm on the Mandela side coming in, and it's a lot of vehicles heading in towards on that eastbound leg towards 6 Miles. And 6 Miles at this time of morning, it's really building. So you're going to have some traffic there all the way to 3 Miles. Washington Boulevard, the same, but the thing with Washington Boulevard, there are gaps along the way. It really has the build-ups so really are at the Boulevard Malines intersection and also as you get to Dunrobin. And I should also say going around to the Meadowbrook Estate area from Aberville, Patrick City, going around to Perkins, that little roundabout there, and then going onto Perkins Boulevard there, you're going to have some traffic going towards Red Hills Road. There are a number of vehicles coming out the foot of Red Hills also, and Red Hills Road is a steady flow going all the way down. Going across to Roehampton, and build up at Roehampton, close to get onto Mannington Road, but then Mannington Road is flowing steadily, going down to Constance Spring, joining with Mayor Brown's Corner, Constance Spring Road going all the way southbound, going past Grandstand Road, Shortwood Road, a little build up at that intersection. Going further down, it is flowing until it builds into the Half-a Tree Square area because South Oden Avenue is carrying traffic from Eastwood Park Road and by extension Malines Road. So it's a first report. All right, until 7:20, back to you.
Thank you, Ludlow. And for those of you watching us on YouTube, if you look at the shot right now of West Parade, if you look in the background, is it the Digicel building? That's where we are broadcasting from. So look at the shot on the screen, the shot of West Parade. But if you look in the yonder, well, it's zoomy now, but back in the shot, you saw the Digicel building. That's where we are broadcasting. Anyway.
Good morning.
Yeah, man.
Up next. Good morning. There we go.
Yeah, man.
There we go.
See it there? I
There we go.
ate that. Word of the day up next.
So your word of the day is spelled Sagittate. Spelled Saiittate.
Sagitate. Sagitate. Sagitate.
Sagittate is your word of the day, and it means shaped like an arrowhead. Sagittate is your word of the day, an adjective meaning shaped like an arrowhead. An explanation provided here by dictionary.com. Nature and design often form sharp, arrow-like shapes. Sagittate describes objects, leaves, or patterns that resemble an arrowhead. Looking for a helpful way to remember this word, picture the archer in the Sagittarius symbol. I should Google that, but Sagittate is your word of the day. And to use it in a sentence, the arrowhead-shaped leaves of the plant were strikingly sagittate in their design. Sagittate is your word of the day. Spelt again, Sagittate. And I am hopping on over into the comment section as well, George.
Somebody said, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Somebody said, so how is it fair that Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana are not on the list?
Yes.
But it makes sense. Trinidad and Tobago has been a key supporter of the US's activities in a certain part of the region.
Yeah.
And Guyana benefits from the action that was taken against Maduro. So those partners and the partnerships and the material help that they have given, they would get exemptions from this thing. Everybody has get lumped together, but it is purely obvious why TNT and Guyana are not on the list.
Yeah. I see Carisha here saying you have some Jamaicans who really live off the system here, but it's a little drop in the bucket. As a Jamaican living in the USA, I can unequivocally say I sign up for no grants I work for minds.
Mhm.
Yeah, to the point I was raising in the What's on My Mind, the justification put out by the U.S. administration is that they're putting a pause on immigrant visa processing for these 75 countries, including Jamaica, because of the significant burden immigrants from these countries are placing on the American purse. Is that really the case for Jamaica? Because often you hear that Jamaicans, when they go foreign, they work whopa jobs and take care of them family and send back whopa remittances as well. But yeah, what level of burden do Jamaican immigrants place on the American purse? I'd like to know. Yeah, I'd like to know. To justify us being, lumped on that list of 75. Yeah, that's definitely a question. Or diplomats, led by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kamina Johnson-Smith, should place on the table. And I hope she gets to the negotiating table soon on this one. But we're going to our features at the top of the hour, the news.
Last time in Coming of Age, we spoke about natural remedies to treat the symptoms of menopause. Today, we're continuing that focus. The symptoms of menopause can be quite annoying, from the mood swings, irritability, to the hot flashes. Hormonal changes during menopause can cause bones to weaken, increasing the risk of osteoporosis. Naturopath, medical doctor, and YouTuber Dr. Gus Landivar says calcium and vitamin D are linked to good bone health.
Eat foods that are high in calcium, vitamin D, and anti-inflammatory substances. If you don't know this yet, you should, because hormone changes during menopause can cause bone weakness, joints to hurt, and increase the risk of bone fractures and arthritis. This is why it's always a good idea to increase your consumption of foods that contain calcium, vitamin D, and turmeric. Calcium and vitamin D are linked to good bone health, and turmeric are linked to decreased inflammations in the body and joints, which can become very common during menopause. Foods that are a rich source of calcium include dairy, yogurt, milk, cheese, etc., leafy green vegetables such as kale, spinach, and others that provide lots of calcium. And when it comes to vitamin D, for example, sunlight is your best and main source of vitamin D. And the last one, very common and very effective, turmeric. Consuming curcumin or turmeric can reduce inflammation all around the body, making it easier for you to tolerate hormone changes, treat joint pain, and help your body reduce inflammation.
Menopausal women have an increased risk in heart disease. Dr. Gus says regular exercise may help reduce this risk.
Exercise is a very important part of your health at every single point in your life. Don't forget that exercise plays a very important role in hormone regulation, in your sleep, and in your mood. Participating in regular exercise, if possible every single day, does indeed improve energy and metabolism, improves bone and joint health, helps reduce stress, and promotes a better sleep at night. For example, one study found that exercising 3 hours per week for 1 year improved physical, mental health, and overall improved the quality of life of a group of menopausal women that were going through this phase. And not only that, because regular exercise is also associated with a better health and protection against other diseases and conditions that are much more common during menopause and after this phase. Some of these are cancer, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and osteoporosis.
Dr. Gus Landivar, naturopath, medical doctor, and YouTuber. It is also recommended that menopausal women should reduce their intake of refined carbs and sugar. A diet high in refined carbs and sugar can cause sharp rises and dips in blood sugar, making you feel tired and irritable. This may worsen the physical and mental symptoms of menopause. That's it for Coming of Age.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
What is the correct way to close your knife and fork? This is the language of the knife and the fork. This is Lifestyle Pages. What to do when you have finished eating. How do you close your knife and fork? There are two schools of thought on this topic: the American way and the other, the British or the European way. In the American way, the fork and the knife should be placed across the middle of the plate. If the plate were a clock, both the knife and fork would be placed at 3 o'clock. The fork is placed in the center of the plate with the knife edge or cutting side touching the fork. The fork teeth or tines are turned upwards. This action tells the person clearing the table that you have finished eating and permission is granted to clear the table. In the British or European way, the fork and the knife are placed again in the center of the plate. But this time, if the plate were a clock, the fork and the knife would be at 6:30, with the fork in the center with the teeth or tines turned up, and the knife is gently placed to the right of the fork with a curved or cutting side touching the fork. To dash the knife and the fork any old way on the plate is wrong. The knife should never be placed in between the fork teeth or tines. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
From the ground up, let's rebuild stronger, safer, better than before. National Supply, powering Jamaica's comeback. The temperature by National Supply is...
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Thursday, January 15, 2026, Young Jamaica slams opposition spokesman on health over his response to the AG's report into procurement breaches at the University Hospital. Immigration attorney warns Jamaicans applying for permanent residency in the U.S. to await confirmation before selling their belongings. PAAC summons JPS CEO to Parliament for update on power restoration work in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. And in international news, EU troops arrive in Greenland as talks with the U.S. highlight disagreement over the island's future.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The youth arm of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, Young Jamaica, has criticized the opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, for his response to the Auditor General's report into the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI. Young Jamaica, in a statement on Wednesday, says Dr. Dawes' utterances that a failure of ministerial oversight is to be blamed for the findings at the hospital is barefaced and disingenuous. The group instead is demanding that Dr. Dawes tell the country whether a company owned by a PNP parliamentarian is among the beneficiaries of what the Auditor General has described as the inappropriate use of UHWI's tax exemption status in breach of Jamaican law. Young Jamaica is further questioning if Dr. Dawes has at any time been a founding member or partner of a company owned by a colleague PNP parliamentarian, which the Auditor General has reportedly described as being the beneficiary of the inappropriate use of UHWI's tax exemption status in breach of Jamaican law. The group also questioned if Dr. Dawes at any time had any professional or personal association with any such entity. Meanwhile, Young Jamaica says it welcomes the findings of the Auditor General and the decision of the Health Ministry to establish an institutional review committee to address governance and accountability gaps uncovered in the audit. The committee is to be led by former Private Sector Organization of Jamaica President Howard Mitchell. Additionally, Young Jamaica says it welcomes the decision of the Board of Directors of UHWI to call in the police fraud squad to probe reports that private companies were beneficiaries of the inappropriate use of the hospital's tax exemption status. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Board of Directors at the University Hospital of the West Indies, Patrick Hilton, says the findings of the Auditor General's report on the hospital's operations are deeply disturbing. The report, tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, highlights numerous irregularities, including more than $500 million in payments to contractors for which no supporting procurement documents exist.
If you look at even my own background, I must tell you, I've never experienced anything like this. I've never even remotely considered. I come out of an environment where compliance and, the adherence to good governance and so on is part of the DNA. So all of this is a big surprise and, very disturbing. And so we are committed to pursuing it to its logical conclusion. I understand that people will be very concerned and upset about it as we were, but we also have to recognize that there's a process we need to go through to deal with these things. Otherwise, we run the risk that we could have regret later about how we proceeded.
The damning report prompted the UHWI board to ask for the intervention of the police fraud squad. Amid the audit revelations was the hospital unlawfully used its tax-exempt status to import goods on behalf of at least 3 private companies. Sources indicate that at least one of the 4 companies identified by the Auditor General as having received tax-exempted supplies and equipment through UHWI is owned by a prominent politician. Hilton says he became aware of the irregularities only after reviewing the first draft of the report late 2025. He declined to address specific details, noting that the matter remains under active investigation. He also refrained from naming the companies or the politician allegedly involved.
The Auditor General hasn't named them. I don't think it is appropriate to name one particular company or one particular category of persons who may have been involved. It is all going to come out soon enough, I think, right? Because there's a process that we're going through. Like I said, the process is advanced, and I wanted to follow the process.
But you know who
I'll be putting myself at risk. I know the names, but I'm not at liberty to disclose them publicly.
Can you say whether sitting members of parliament own these companies?
I wouldn't want to comment on that either.
But you do know the answer?
I know the answer.
Patrick Hilton, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the UHWI. Meanwhile, Hilton says, he rejected suggestions that the board failed in its oversight responsibilities.
There was a board which existed before September.
Was they a failure?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that board was a failure. This report was a period from 2019 to 2025, right? And what we are seeing is that many of the practices would have predated the previous boards. There are a number of different aspects and components to it which would have precluded the board from having the kind of insight it would have needed into what was happening in the compliance function. I mean, there are other areas where the board had focused its attention, and many of those areas, had received the benefit of that attention. It's just that for that particular period between March 2024 and March 2025, compliance was not part of the focus of the audit, the internal audit function.
Patrick Hilton, Chairman of the Board of Directors at the UHWI. Attorney at law Wayne Golding is advising Jamaicans applying to permanently live in the United States that they must not run the risk of selling or giving away their possessions before getting confirmation of approval from the U.S. Embassy. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday.
We advise them, do not change your life until you get a full approval. It's always our advice to them, do not sell your house, do not stop going to school, do not quit your job, do not sell your land, don't start giving away stuff until you're actually granted that visa. So now this pause, which is indefinite, will mean that the processing time will be longer, and not only that, they can refuse your visa without even telling you why, an immigrant visa. And sadly, there's no form of appeal in those situations.
An immigrant visa is a document allowing foreign nationals to permanently live in the United States while they await the issuance of a green card. Jamaica is one of 75 countries listed by the U.S. State Department for which the processing of immigrant visas has been suspended indefinitely. The pause will take effect on January 21. The suspension will not apply to those Jamaicans seeking visas to study, visitors, tourists, travel for business, or take up employment on seasonal work programs. Wednesday's announcement is the latest in a string of steps taken by the Trump administration in its crackdown on illegal migration. Golding says there's more to come.
It depends on who's in the headlights, so to speak. I've seen them use it as a tool to enforce U.S. policy abroad or to get countries to kind of change their position. But I expect worse to come, believe it or not.
Worse?
This is just the beginning. Yes, worse to come. Because during the last time that this administration was in power, they had put out certain things that they never got to do, including trying to eliminate the category where U.S. citizens can sponsor their siblings, which is one of the biggest beneficiary categories to people from the Caribbean.
Wayne Golding, Attorney at Law. The Public Administration and Appropriations Committee of Parliament, PAAC, has passed a motion summoning the CEO of the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, Hugh Grant, to provide an update on power restoration efforts since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The motion was passed at Wednesday's sitting of the committee, which is currently assessing the government's Hurricane Melissa relief efforts. Mahiri Stewart reports.
PAAC Chairman Peter Bunting says JPS has ignored previous invitations to appear before the committee.
The committee has been grappling for some time with the JPS, who seems determined to avoid appearing before the committee. And, I think we were lenient for the first couple of months. We knew that they were grappling with a lot and they were overwhelmed. But I think the committee is at the end of its patience now.
He relayed to the committee JPS CEO Hugh Grant's reason for missing Wednesday's sitting.
The CEO had called me personally on Monday to say that he had planned to return to Kingston. Apparently he's based in Westmoreland now, but he had planned to come back into Kingston on Monday to, among other things, address this committee. He said there was a fatal accident involving a convoy of overseas linemen that had four fatalities, and that it was essentially they were traumatized and it had the potential to affect the ongoing restoration. And he felt it was important for him to be there to deal with the matters on the ground and ensure that restoration continued.
But Firebrand Committee member MP Everald Warmington rejected that explanation. He lashed out at the company for what he described as its continued disrespect of the PAAC.
Is he a doctor, a nurse? Does he drive a hearse? Look, this is the third time we've got excuses from JPS for not being here. I think it's a matter of level of disrespect and disregard for Parliament. If you have that disrespect and disregard for this committee, it means for Parliament. And I'm moving that way, issue summons or subpoena, whatever it is here, for them to appear before this committee. We cannot take this step of disrespect from any other institution, and they are the only one that appeared like this.
Bunting agreed with Warmington. He says the committee will use its powers to summon JPS to appear.
This committee would just pass a motion to summon the CEO of the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited to our next sitting, which would be on the 28th of January at 10 a.m. at Garden House. All in favor of this motion? Aye. Against? The ayes have it.
Both houses of Parliament or any standing committee have the power to order any person to attend before them to give evidence or produce documents. The order can compel a person to give evidence or to produce any paper, book, record, or document in their possession or under their control. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Mahiri. Member of Parliament for Northwest Manchester, Michael Phillips, is calling for a suspension of the Data Protection Act to allow MPs to receive information on which constituents have benefited from relief aid since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. He made the call during Wednesday's sitting of the PAAC.
We have to find a way that in the matter of an emergency like this, that there may have to be some suspension of the Data Protection Act, because I can tell you that it happened in the hurricane prior to this, where more than one person in a household got a grant, a cash grant. I know of one who said that her daughter and her son got out of one household. They didn't use the money for what it was intended for. In this instance, no, I can guarantee that there are going to be one person in a household getting from you and another one getting from the Member of Parliament.
Phillips says he's struggling to accept that MPs are bypassed in the process of providing direct aid to people affected by Hurricane Melissa.
In an emergency, I find that the Members of Parliament are left out, and it's not just your agencies, basically right across government, as part of the response to constituents in our case. And we are generally the first respondent on the ground, ourselves and the councillors. And I find that even in the distribution of care packages, the members of parliament, before we got a pre-hurricane set of resources, which could not have been even dealt with until after the hurricane, and even then, there weren't any entities for us to purchase anything. When I asked the ministry for assistance, we were told that they're not going to be going through the members of parliament.
Michael Phillips, Member of Parliament. Meanwhile, in response to Michael Phillips, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Dion Jennings, says MPs play a crucial role in the disaster coordination process.
The members of Parliament are part of the Parish Disaster Committee, and you can confirm that members of Parliament are part of that committee. That's the base, and they're supposed to be active in their parish disaster committees. And in the parish disaster committees, there are several other entities. They have a key role, and part of that role is in the coordination, part of the referral as well. And if they have identified persons who need the assistance, we expect the members of Parliament to indicate.
Dion Jennings, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, speaking at Wednesday's sitting of the PAAC. In a major move, NCB Financial Group has underwritten more than $15 billion in senior secured financing to support Jamaica Broilers Group, JBG, as the company moves to stabilize its operations. This means NCB has committed to provide or secure the funds for JBG, even if it must initially carry some or all the financing on its own balance sheet. JBG is also seeking to execute a revised strategy following recent accounting and operational challenges in its overseas operations. Shalois Michael reports.
The financing support comes amid heightened scrutiny of JBG's U.S. business, where the company recently disclosed accounting matters that adversely affected cash flows, profitability, and its consolidated financial results. These issues forced the group to reassess its international expansion strategy and refocus on strengthening governance and oversight. CEO of NCB Capital Markets, Angus Young, says its support is grounded in the strength of JBG's core Jamaican operations and the corrective actions now underway.
We are encouraged by the approach being taken to address the matters identified in the group's U.S. segment and have designed bespoke financing solutions aligned with Jamaica Broiler Group's specific recovery and capital needs. With more robust corporate governance, transparency, and disciplined execution, we believe that Jamaica Broilers is well positioned to recover and deliver value to stakeholders and the wider economy. This $15.1 billion deal is a tangible demonstration of the scale and range of NCB Financial Group's capabilities and the direct product of the recent operational merger of our corporate and investment banking deal teams within NCB.
Under the arrangement, NCB Jamaica Limited will provide $6.4 billion in loans, and NCB Capital Markets Limited will arrange $8.7 billion in multi-tranche bonds, with maturities extending up to 14 years. NCB also led negotiations with other domestic creditors to reset financial covenants and modify the collateral security package. These measures are intended to give JBG sufficient financial leeway to execute its recovery plan. Meanwhile, JBG's leadership has acknowledged the seriousness of the issues uncovered and has moved to tighten controls and oversight. Group President and CEO Christopher Levy says the company is implementing strong and decisive measures to bring the business back on track.
We're implementing a disciplined turnaround plan that places governance, oversight, and operational efficiency at the core of our business. We've strengthened our leadership, our financial controls, and transitioned to auditors with specialized sector experience. We brought our U.S. operations under our direct Jamaican supervision. With NCB's support, we are very confident in our ability to regain momentum and build shareholder confidence.
Levy stresses that despite the challenges abroad, JBG's domestic business has remained resilient. For the financial year ended May 31, 2025, the Jamaican operations delivered net profits of $2.5 billion and maintained an equity position of $16 billion. Levy says this underscores the strength of the local business at a time when the group was absorbing losses from overseas operations. Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Shaloy. International news now. Troops from several European countries, including France, Germany, Norway, and Sweden, are arriving in Greenland to help boost the Arctic islands' security. The build-up comes after talks between representatives of Denmark, Greenland, and the U.S. on Wednesday failed to reach consensus over the U.S.'s intention to annex the territory. The Danish Defense Ministry on Thursday said the intention is to establish a more permanent military presence with a larger Danish contribution. He said soldiers from several NATO countries will be in Greenland on a rotation basis. Germany's defense ministry is set to deploy a reconnaissance team of 13 personnel on Thursday. France said its first French military elements were already en route, with others set to follow. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:19.
Jamaica Post is committed to being your preferred logistics partner. Enjoy the convenience of 3 to 5 days for international shipments at competitive rates and next business day delivery for local packages. Take advantage of our fast, reliable, and ever-evolving services: Zip Mail, Click and Ship, Fast Track, EMS, Parcel Service, Registered Mail, Corporate Mail Service, and Private Letterbox. Access customer service support and track packages online. Visit our post offices island-wide and premium service centers at select locations. For more information, go to jamaicapost.gov.jm. Conditions apply.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
And again, George, and all our listeners, visitors, all our viewers, and also visitors. You know, we are happy when they're here, and they had when they have a great experience. But the sun is out now. We're seeing a lot of sun and some serious clouds above. And let me just tell you, that area from 3 miles, Ocean Simpson Miller, that's by the overpass, quite active. The Agri Park section is also active all the way up. So if you're coming off any of these roads, Walton Park Road to get onto Agri Park Road, or, you know, in the vicinity of Stratford Avenue, or Bloomsbury, going onto Agri Park Road and going further up eastbound towards Arbitrary, you're definitely going to encounter traffic. There's some traffic going through the Richmond Park community, Richmond Park Avenue, also Montgomery Avenue. Most of the vehicles are trying to make their way across to Lyndhurst Road, but also remember that Lyndhurst Road, when they go to Lyndhurst Road, is quite active also. And also the road that runs to Russell Road, also running off Maxfield. All of this road takes you all the way across to Hammett Road, and then it gets closer to Harvey Road. That's in the crossroad area. It's going to be very easy in that space, so be reminded of that. I just want to highlight one thing. The lights by Oxford Boulevard and Oxford Road is out of commission. So please be reminded of that. So you have to be very careful. It's a very important piece of road there. The one before, further in New Kingston, was not working, but it's working now. And that's Grenada Crescent and Oxford Boulevard. But it's working now. So just reminded that Oxford Road and Oxford Boulevard out of commission. So be careful. As usual, be safe. Have a great day. Remember, the clear maneuvers, the mirrors, and indicators, and seat belts. Stop, complete stop at the stop sign. As usual, at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. Over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 2. I wonder how the YouTubers who live overseas and who battled through snow to get to their offices this morning, I wonder what they feel when they see that shot of Devon House side halfway tree and the sunshine and people just walking easy, and boy, I feel the pain. Front page up next. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, turning our attention to our discussion segment, the Front Page. Jamaica's Foreign Minister, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, has confirmed that Jamaica is one of 75 countries whose U.S. immigrant visa processing has been suspended indefinitely. The news, first reported by Fox News in the U.S., has sent jitters through the local and diaspora communities. The State Department confirmed the visa suspensions on Wednesday, but had not explicitly named Jamaica. It says the indefinite pause will take effect on January 21. Shaloy Smikle reports.
An immigrant visa is a document allowing foreign nationals to permanently live in the United States while they await the issuance of a green card. But the door has seemingly been closed on the dream held by many. On Wednesday, the U.S. State Department said it instructed consular officers to halt immigrant visa applications from 75 countries across the globe. It's the latest in a string of immigration crackdowns announced by the Trump administration. In a social media post, the State Department says it's aiming to pause the visa processing for immigrants who take welfare from the American people at unacceptable rates. It says the freeze will remain active until the U.S. can ensure that new immigrants will not extract wealth from Americans. The suspension will not apply to those seeking non-immigrant, temporary tourist or business visas. The full list of countries under the policy has not been officially released, but several media reports named 11 Caribbean countries among the 75, Jamaica being one of them. In a social media post, Senator Johnson-Smith confirmed the news. But she says the pause does not affect visas for students, tourists, business, or visas which are part of the seasonal work programs. She says these continue to be processed at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. Minister Johnson-Smith says the embassy will provide further clarity on the matter once they are able. Shaloy Smikle for Nationwide News.
Joining us for reactions, Director of Caribbean Immigrant Services, Erwin Clare, and educator and social commentator, Dr. Karen Dunkley. Good morning.
Good morning, Tana. Good morning to you and George and your listeners.
Good morning.
Thank you both so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Let's begin with you, Erwin Clare, your reaction to the policy change announced by the Trump administration yesterday.
First of all, let me say, thanks for having me on. It's not a surprise, but it is still a shocker because it, as you know, it is the family reunification is the most viable option available for Jamaicans who seek to join their families in the United States. It has always been a policy of the Trump administration from its first dibs at this to reduce the inflow of immigrants through this process. Now, when you tack on, and I heard the statement just now, every time I hear it, it breaks my heart that we are now classified in an environment where it's alleged that we are taken from the system, and that is to imply more than we put into the system, which is an unfortunate statement because that is not the case. However, it is the narrative that is utilized now
and it is part of the whole mantra right now that is geared towards not only manipulating but curtailing legal immigration to the United States.
But Erwin, before you move on, what is the truth and how do you measure it? Because if it is that the point on which this thing has turned is how much Jamaicans put into the US's economy versus how much is extracted, how do you measure that, and how do you measure that to find out and determine if what the administration is saying is so, or by your line that it is not so?
Okay. Anecdotally speaking, how many teachers have left the shores that we have trained here and have gone to the United States? How many nurses have left the shores that we have trained and have gone to the United States? How many doctors have been the same? When you look in areas where Jamaicans are concentrated, we control the real estate market. When you look up and down the cycles of academia and entrepreneurship, Jamaicans are involved in these transactions in the United States. That is not to say there aren't folks who are on hard times and have challenges. That is no different than any other communities. But disproportionately, George, the United States benefits from the remit of Jamaicans and Caribbean nationals into the United States more than it takes from. Because understand this. The process as it is right now does not allow for green card holders to access many federal programs in the United States. To do so, you'll be doing so at your own peril. That would be illegal. So there's not a free for you go into the United States and you just go and take like that. There are rules and regulations that applied, and trust me, you do not have large Jamaicans involved in seeking and taking from the system that is not theirs.
Want to hear you on that as well, Dr. Dunkley. The State Department says it's aiming to pause the visa processing for immigrants who take welfare from the American people at unacceptable rates. Erwin is not convinced by that. Want to get your opinion on it, but we're going to take a break here on NTM and come back with that.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
7:30.
Managing your investments with Sagicor is now easy as ever. You can fund stocks, repos, and do more seamlessly. Even get a clear overview of your portfolio performance on the enhanced Sagicor eBank platform. Want to experience effortless investment banking on Sagicor eBank? It's as easy as ever. Contact your Sagicor Investment Wealth Advisor today and update your personal information for access. Call 888-SAGICOR or visit sagicor.com for more information.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift the smile, gift the smile, gift the smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, having a conversation with Director of Caribbean Immigrant Services, Erwin Clare, and educator and social commentator, Dr. Karen Dunkley, bringing you in now in relation to the argument put forward by the Trump administration that is putting a pause on immigrant visa processing for the 75 countries, including Jamaica, because of the burden that immigrants from these countries are placing on the American purse. Erwin, before the break, not convinced by that argument. How do you see it?
So here's what we do know. The government has not done a clarified evidence-based assessment of exactly how different immigrant groups utilize welfare. So the framing of the conversation has been household versus individual, participation rate versus the dollar amount, and then the programs that are included. So let me give some very concrete examples. At first glance, they would say, for example, when you look at household versus individual use, that immigrant households use welfare more than native-born American households. The issue, what this means is that typically there's one person within the household of the immigrant that has some access to a public benefit. That person, typically, Tana, is a U.S.-born child, not the immigrant adult, because they are entitled to benefits such as Medicaid or SNAP, and SNAP would be the food benefit. So this is why when you look at household versus individual, it might appear as if immigrant households have access to more benefits because the children that they have who are United States citizens do have the benefits. But when now you go to the per person or the dollar amount.
Dr. Dunkley?
Generates. Yes.
If you could repeat what you just said, when you go to the individual.
Oh, I was speaking about the household participation versus individual. That if you look at household, immigrants' household tend to, it shows up that they use public benefits more than native-born households, simply because it's not the adult immigrant. It means that there's one person, usually the child in that household, that has access to a public benefit, such as SNAP or Medicaid. And SNAP would be the food benefits. So when you look at household participation versus individual use, the administration is saying that households use public benefits more than native-born Americans, the household of immigrants. But we have to really drill down. When you look at the participation rate in terms of public benefits versus the dollar amount, you will get a different story. Because native-born Americans use more public welfare than immigrants. The statistics supports that. When you assess the total dollars per person, the use of entitlement programs such as Social Security, Medicare, disability, you heard Erwin mention that immigrants are usually not even entitled to some of these public charge programs, but native-born Americans would have more access to these because they're older, they have more retirees, and they qualify for more long-term benefits. Another program that concerns me, how the administration has assessed the use of public benefits by immigrants, is what we call the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit. And in the traditional sense, that should not be a public program, but if they are evaluating as such, that's going to disproportionately impact immigrants. Because what the Earned Income Tax Credit does, it gives a reward back to families who are not high income earners. They pay taxes but earn low wages. And so because their incomes are modest, they do receive at the end of the year this Earned Income Tax Credit. So if this is included in their matrix, that it's going to appear as if immigrants are utilizing public benefits more than native-born Americans.
So, Erwin, thank you for that, Dr. Dunkley. So, Erwin, if what you are saying is true, and Dr. Dunkley is aligned with you, that the assumptions made, the decision taken is perhaps then made on the basis of bad data. Where's the bad data coming from to inform this decision to lump Jamaica with some of these countries?
Well, what we find in today's marketplace, George, is this. If the administration comes up with a program that it wants to get implemented, they'll provide the information to substantiate it. They create the narrative. That's the order of the day. Because in one breath, we are told how much, and on the other side, how much the participation and the involvement of immigrants in the economic landscape is so important. And they have statistics to demonstrate that. But when you want to justify a program that you seek to narrow and to reduce the immigration into the United States, you'll find data to substantiate that. And there goes the narrative. That's what's taking place. Now we could sit here and argue about numbers and statistics. The fact of the matter is that reunification process is the trough to which most persons enter into the United States. As you can see, the nature of the situation in the States these days is to restrict the movement of immigrants in the country. In fact, the whole deportation process is now up and running. And so anything that will turn off the spigot as they seek to remove persons, it falls in line. That is what's taking place. And I think those of us in our family structure who are seeking to enter the United States have to appreciate and understand that, because that's the rule, that's the regulation. We just have to see now what will this pause end up with, because they said they're reassessing, and see what they come back with. That's where we are today, unfortunately.
And in that regard, Dr. Dunkley, how does the Jamaican administration, the Foreign Affairs Minister, the other diplomats, how do they counter that?
I think that they certainly have. And we had that conversation among our groups and our peers yesterday. So what is the role of the Jamaican government in countering or responding to this immigrant visa pause? That has to be grounded in diplomacy. So the first thing that we think is we need assertive diplomatic engagement with the U.S. government. That should include formal consultations with the U.S. State Department. I was extremely shocked and very surprised that all the CARICOM countries except Guyana and Trinidad, that we were lumped in. It was quite shocking. I said Jamaica. Jamaica is a proud country. When we come here, we work. It's actually within the culture of Jamaicans in the United States. It is viewed negatively for persons who take, quote unquote, advantage of public benefits. So that is not normalized in our culture. So I think that our government have to ensure assertive engagement with the U.S. government through formal diplomatic consultations. Like, we should be in that U.S. State Department this week by Monday no latest, and we should see clarification on the criteria and the timelines and the exemptions. How long should we anticipate this pause? And then we need to advocate, quite frankly, for country-specific treatment. We're lumped into these 75 countries. Tell me about Jamaica and how the numbers and this decision applies to our countrymen. And then we have to, I know we don't want to go back and forth on the data, but we really have to look at the labor force participation of Jamaicans in the U.S. We have to examine that there are low rates of long-term public dependency. Again, we just don't have it. We have to talk about the remittance flows back to Jamaica that reduce state dependency, and then look at the concentration of Jamaicans in essential sectors. You heard my good friend Sir Claire mention some. In the teaching, healthcare, caregiving, construction, transportation. So Jamaicans are net contributors to the U.S. economy, not public charges. And I think that the policy assumption that we are does not align with our migration patterns, and it's incumbent upon our government and the institutions to counter and respond.
Yeah, and don't forget the huge number of Jamaicans, Dr. Dunkley, in the retail trade as well. Erwin, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yes.
Isn't it, and Dr. Dunkley says, listen, we have to hit the ground running. Senator Johnson Smith and company, by Monday latest, they should be where the decisions are being made, trying to influence the change. Isn't it time ripe, though, for the utilization of those lobbyists in Washington, those people friendly to Jamaica, whether those with Jamaican ties, people who are higher? Is it not on them that this decision will turn more than government to government kind of talks at a high level? You may not get any yield, but it is in the crevices that these representatives can work that the potential for success lies, you believe?
You know, George, I'm not certain that over the years Jamaica has cultivated such. And I say that if you ask me now who are these lobbyists in Washington, I wouldn't know. All right? And when you look at the community level, what you find is fatigue, because most of these entities and stuff are now like pretzels, because rules and regulations change so drastically. You don't know which way the sun is up the next day. And why I say that is that it has caused for great confusion. A lot of things are taking place all at once, which has brought along confusion, which has resulted in a lot of fear. So you find that many of the groupings that normally would be aligned and be supportive are also preoccupied in their existence. And in some cases are now leveraging their participation because of the vitriol and the rhetoric that exists out there. It is unfortunately not an environment that is accommodating to pragmatism and to argument that seeks to help in the lobbying process.
And it was on that basis that I thought that internally to do better. But work with me here, Dr. Dunkley, because I'm thinking of just off the top of my head of a couple instances over the past. I mean, clearly it was lobbying from within the United States by people kind and sympathetic to us that got Marcus Garvey's body to come back to Jamaica, taken here by the JLP administration back in the day. We saw the lobbying, although it went belly up, with reaching out to Charles Manatt and getting Manatt, Phelps and Phillips to intervene in the extradition request, which we all know about in 2010. We've seen Obama come here. That wasn't just us writing a letter from Jamaica House, sending to the White House, asking if he can stop here. That was from our friends up there, talking to the right people and getting him to add us to his itinerary for the visit that he made. So I'm saying there are things on record in the past which shows that important decisions and important steps have been taken by persons kind and sympathetic to us lobbying in the United States. Isn't there the possibility for that this time, notwithstanding the environment that Erwin has spoken about?
I think we have to talk about who the right lobbyists would be that are indirect and strategic, because we see that typically in a typical government, congressional pressure would matter, where you can engage with your members of Congress, your State Department, your DHS, and you could have congressional briefings. However, in this administration, we don't quite see congressional pressure mattering as much. And so members representing districts with large Jamaican and Caribbean populations tend to be Democratic. And we don't see the Democrats having the influence or the sway. So I think that with the right lobbyists, which might actually be contracted lobbyists, that this would have to be the road to take. And not only as a Jamaican action, but as a CARICOM action, because we as a country, in terms of Jamaica, we're actually more effective when we're strongest, when we act regionally and not simply by ourselves, and we can present a unified Caribbean position. So I think it's going to be, again, incumbent upon CARICOM to say, who do we need to engage to lobby on our behalf? I think another piece of the lobbying that has to happen is to lobby for exemptions. So for example, we could say for CARICOM countries, we want to have some specific carve out. We want to have some occupational exemptions. So for those who have applied for immigrant visas, who are health caregivers again, we need to ensure that they're exempt. Family reunification again should be exempt. And this lobbying has to be done quietly. We can't really do it through public confrontation. And then let me talk about us in the diaspora. The diaspora, we are a powerful lobby, and I think we need to organize around these issues through how we organize, how we engage with the caucuses, especially those who live in what I'm going to call the politically important states, not to diminish anyone else, but definitely New York, Florida, and Georgia. And I think that diaspora-led lobbying can frame the issue as family separation and workforce disruption. We could show real-world consequences for the United States communities, and we could, quite frankly, humanize the impact of this pause beyond statistics.
Excellent. That's all the time we have, Erwin. Dr. Karen Dunkley, brilliant contributions this morning. Thank you for your time. All the best. We'll talk again.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay.
Director of Caribbean Immigrant Services, Erwin Clare, and educator and social commentator, Dr. Karen Dunkley. There's a job to do.
Yes, indeed. We're going to take a break here on NTN. When we come back from the break, we'll be speaking with the Environment Minister, Matthew Samuda.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
747.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 18 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Turning our attention now to the relief program. The government, through the Forestry Department, has introduced the Reforestation, Ecological Enhancement and Landscape Framework Relief Program, aimed at helping the country's forests recover from Hurricane Melissa. The program was announced by Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. For more, we're being joined by the Environment Minister, Matthew Samuda. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tana. Good morning to listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Minister, you said that the program will begin this month and continue until June. Where will it start in terms of reforestation?
So we are looking at a tiered approach in terms of the worst affected areas and the ones with great ecological sensitivity, along with the areas that need the fastest attention. As well as we do have to contemplate accessibility to some of the forested areas. But as you can imagine, we will be focused heavily in the damaged areas in the west, which I would say stretch between Westmoreland in an almost straight corridor through the hills of St. Elizabeth into the hills of St. James, and there is heavy focus on Trelawney as well.
You know, the first thing that came to my mind when I read through the brief for the relief program that you prepared, that you informed your colleagues in Parliament about, Minister, was this. What is compelling enough for you to have moved in this direction as opposed to allowing rewilding to happen then, for the forest to just regrow on its own? What is it that has given rise to this decisive action taken as opposed to just allowing it to just recover its own footing?
So George, for your listeners' benefit, the Forestry Department had engaged international support pre-Melissa, meaning we had studied very carefully what was the state of our forest, and we had found that we were actually increasing as it relates to forest cover. We had increased approximately 7%, which for us was a very good thing. It meant lands were being reclaimed. It meant our 3 million tree planting initiative. It meant our protected areas initiatives were having the effect that the policies were designed to do. Now, using that same international help and our own best practices in terms of swift checks, satellite data, the level of devastation in some of what was our primary forests is extreme. The level of devastation in some of our mangrove forests is extreme. Now, this has significant risks, not just for ecology and biodiversity, but it has risks for us. Some of these forests function as our natural defenses. They're the nature-based solutions to the risks that we face. But when one contemplates these areas, much of these areas function to maintain our weather patterns. When you lose this volume of forest or see this volume of forest as badly damaged, we are of the view that it requires some intervention to get it to restore itself faster than it would without our help.
What will the Forestry Department be planting? Because I did hear you indicate fruit trees will be among that, but what are they planting? Orange trees, coconut trees, what trees?
So it's a mix, and it's dependent on the area, the soil type. But we are targeting 300,000 trees planted between now and June as our first intervention. We expect to start at the end of this month. There will be a portion, I think close to 25% that we're looking at as fruit trees, especially in the urban and peri-urban areas, to help with food security, help with, ecological stability. Give also, when you have fruit trees, your pollination rates do tend to go up, which also helps other species to catch faster. So we've studied it. We've looked at what's appropriate. We won't displace endemics, and I know some persons are concerned about that because they've messaged me about the same. But we will be planting what's appropriate in the respective areas.
Yeah, and another point of pollination, I was going there because I said to myself, well, given the expansive nature of Relief and the problems it is looking to cure, clearly there must have been some disruption to natural cycles which would have affected pollinating agents like bees. Any information, Minister, on the effect of the forest damage to bee populations and that disturbance in the natural pollination cycle?
So we've anecdotally, we can say that the disturbance is severe. NEPA is still studying the extent of disruption to biodiversity and biodiversity loss. But certainly along the coast in the worst affected areas, you can actually see bees scampering for food, scampering for flora, because the cover has the canopy, the tree canopies have in many cases gone. The sort of flowers that they would be able to benefit from have gone. So we believe this initiative speeds up the process of recovery, because ultimately nature will recover, but we believe it needs to recover faster, both for our own protection and for national stability.
Can you pinpoint the areas, Minister, where the mangrove damage was most severe? I can imagine that the cockpit country, much of it was devastated. We lost some forest cover there. But in terms of the mangrove areas, which are the areas most significantly affected by Melissa that you're targeting?
The mangrove forests stretch predominantly from Clarendon into St. Elizabeth. And the St. Elizabeth mangrove forest, certainly in the proximity of Parity and Black River, have been severely damaged. There are areas that we were quite happy with their regeneration and their resurgence prior to Hurricane Melissa. When I visited Black River recently on my trip with the exec director of the Loss and Damage Fund, I was in shock in one space, because that area that I'd used for pictures in our ministry calendar 2 years ago was completely denuded and degraded. So the St. Elizabeth corridor is particularly bad. There is a stretch on the eastern side of Trelawney, which we were particularly happy with its restoration and regrowth before also, which has been almost totally wiped out. So those are two of the areas that we'll be focusing on with the mangrove replanting.
And in the wake of the damage, especially, go back to the cockpit country again, fallen trees and everything, you're going to have people doing logging, and they'll say, well, listen, the tree, I never cut the tree down. The tree fell during Melissa. I'm only cutting it up to move to make lumber or to make other things. Will there be a relaxation of the rules or an adaptation of the rules to allow people to remove the literally dead wood from these spaces to allow the relief program to thrive?
Certainly the relaxation as much as the law allows. The Forestry Act, which is admittedly dated legislation, is something we intend to update this coming fiscal year. As much as the law allows us to relax, we will, because there is great risk for increases in forest fires, which we've been managing very carefully over the last 3 years with the amount of debris that is littered right across the country. So there is some need for relaxation where that's concerned, but the Forest Act actually ties the conservators' hands in many cases. But where we can, we're working very closely also with the NSWMA and the Fire Brigade and the NWA to identify areas of greatest risk as well.
Yeah. And last, the tree planting component of Relief, you've spoken about it, but in terms of enlisting the support of just people who are environmentally conscious, and more people are becoming so now, to help with the effort, as opposed to those people who the ministry will directly engage to carry the bulk of this effort. How can people participate for those who want to assist with this ambitious tree planting target?
So over the last 5 years, the country would have planted over 3 million, I think we're close to 3.3 million trees. And through that process, a lot of that was done through service clubs. So learning from that experience, we did open our portal on the Forestry Department's website. and allowed for persons to sign up. And thus far, George, I want to thank the over 1,000 Jamaicans who have signed up to participate in tree planting initiatives. I also want to acknowledge many chapters of the Kiwanis and Rotary clubs who have reached out and said, just tell us where to be. And of course, other service clubs, and we've had church groups that have reached out to. So there is significant interest. We will need all hands on deck. Certainly the staff of the forestry department wouldn't have sufficient hands to mobilize 300 plus trees between now and June. We do expect to need support, but thus far the signs are encouraging.
Yeah, and before you go on water, do you have a figure, Minister, as to how much the government has spent sending water to affected communities post October 28, 2025?
Through the Water Commission directly, just through their operations, it's already over $200 million in terms of their direct dispatch. We have over 75 trucks that we have engaged directly through the Water Commission. Through members of Parliament, I'd have to get the exact number, but I know we'd have paid out before the end of the year close to $150 million. So certainly in your westernmost parishes, well over $350 million would have been spent already.
Hear you on that. Thank you for your time this morning, Minister. All the best to you.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Donna.
Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Water, Matthew Samuda, talking about the Relief Program. They're going to reforest and they're going to ecologically enhance, and they're going to develop a landscape framework in the wake of the damage to forested areas, mangrove forests, traditional forests caused by Hurricane Melissa. And where the tree planting component is concerned, is inviting civic-minded citizens to boost the effort with their labor. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8 o'clock.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Thursday morning, Thursday, January 15, 2026. The Manchester Police have charged a man in connection with the shooting death of a businessman on the outskirts of Mandeville in December. Head of the division, Superintendent Kerry Duncan, spoke to residents on Tuesday.
Based on our investigative and intelligence work within the space, one person so far has been taken into custody, arrested and charged for that murder and that shooting over there in CWO.
The businessman, a 31-year-old Joe Matroas, otherwise called Not Nice or Gemini, was among 3 people shot in an incident at the entrance of Cedar Grove. Those wounded were a 23-year-old and a 49-year-old. Troas was among 4 people murdered in the Manchester capital in 3 separate incidents within the 48-hour period up to Christmas Eve. The incident resulted in a security clampdown in several areas. Superintendent Duncan and his team did a walkthrough of the communities on Tuesday in an attempt to reassure residents.
I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again, that you are very privileged in Manchester to have some of the finest detectives in Jamaica. I say that against the background that 8 out of 10 times that we have a serious crime, in particular murder, somebody is arrested and charged for that murder. That is your detective that work in Manchester. So for people to believe that they can just commit these crimes at will and get away with it, think again about it. Think again.
Superintendent Kerry Duncan, commanding officer of the Manchester Police Division. Meanwhile, Superintendent Duncan says that the Mandeville Police have ramped up community outreach in sections of the parish in response to the recent violent activities.
We are launching now a police youth club in this space. We are launching a futsal competition where we are going to have a football competition for all the communities. Because this is what we want to do, to bring the community communities together. And we believe that if we bring the communities together and persons can get to understand each other and we don't have the disputes, then we'll have the drink house and the bar happy and everything going in very short order. So what I want you to do as an elder in the community also is to support the initiatives that we put in forward, to ensure that we galvanize the communities.
Superintendent Kerry Duncan, head of the Manchester Police, he was responding Tuesday evening to residents asking about the lifting of curfews being implemented in their communities. Among the areas affected are Cedar Grove, Green Street, Mayday and Albion, all on the outskirts of Mandeville. Duncan says a part of the challenge with people overseas influencing young people negatively. And that's it for Across Jamaica.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday, January 15, as we broadcast from the official launch of the Shelter Recovery Program, a national initiative designed to support families affected by Hurricane Melissa. Help restore dignity, safety, and stability to their lives. This program marks the country's transition from emergency relief to long-term recovery, featuring a keynote address from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness with remarks from Colonel Charles Jr. and other senior officials and partners. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online Thursday, January 15 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the reopening of the Shelter Recovery Program. Catch or broadcast live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or tune in to our station, Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
This season is the time. Digicel is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digicel is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Now, in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, Digicel embarked on a mission to reconnect Jamaica not only to the mobile network, but to what matters most, each other. Despite the hardships that preceded Christmas, Digicel made it a priority to demonstrate its unwavering commitment to community and home by championing the spirit of gifting to people in need through the Gift a Smile campaign. For more on Digicel's Gift a Smile promotion, I'm being joined by Digicel's Head of Marketing, Nicolette McFarlane. Nicolette, good morning to you. So we are still trying to make connection with Nicolette. Of course, you just heard the ad there, Gift a Smile. The promotion has been going on from last year, and Nicolette will be joining us this morning to tell us more about the Gift a Smile promotion. Talk to us about the beneficiaries of the promotion so far, if persons can still win as well, and how it is that if it is that you're out there, you believe you're deserving of a smile from Digicel, how you can be a person to enter. And as well, just to talk to us generally about Digicel's outreach programs since the passing of Hurricane Melissa on October 28th, what Digicel has been doing out there in the western sections of the country to assist those who were affected by the passage of that storm. Nicolette is back on the line. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad. Thank you for asking. I hope you're having a great day so far.
I am. Thank you so much, Nicolette. So let's get right into it. For persons out there, Nicolette, who are not familiar with the Digicel's Gift a Smile promotion, if you could talk to us some more about the campaign.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do so. So the Gift a Smile promotion was really born out of our Reconnecting Jamaica effort, which happened immediately after the Melissa.
You're coming in a bit choppy, Nicolette.
With our communities in Jamaica, also in partnership to help.
Having a bit of a difficulty hearing you, Nicolette. Not sure if you could shift a little. If you have us on speaker, if you could take us off speaker.
I must apologize. Are you hearing now?
Oh, you're great now. Go ahead.
Great, right. So I was saying that our Gift a Smile campaign was born out of our Reconnecting Jamaica initiative, which was took place immediately after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Our teams went across Jamaica to different areas, and what we noticed was that even though a chaotic time, people still found a way to smile and still found a reason to smile. And we kind of thought to ourselves, how do we help to keep those smiles on the faces and in the hearts of our Jamaicans, not just our customers? And that's how the Gift a Smile campaign was born. Mm-hmm. So, we had a look at, what people need. How can we meet our customers where they're at? How can we meet Jamaicans where they're at and really still allow them to enjoy a little bit of good cheer and holiday vibes throughout the season, even though it was not a typical Christmas, as you can imagine.
Yes.
So, we were gifting 64 persons $250,000 in cash. 32 persons would have won $50,000 in grocery vouchers. And we were giving away 15 Samsung tablets as well. But outside of that, of course, we were also going into different communities for our Gift a Smile Christmas treats and our Gift a Smile tours. We had Digi Santa, so the kids got toys, they got rides, they had games, there's face painting, cotton candy. And for the grown-ups, we were able to help them out with hygiene care packages and food care packages.
Oh, that's wonderful. You guys have done a lot, from the cash prizes to the tablets to, the benefits for the kids. That is a whole lot, and we are grateful to Digicel as a responsible corporate partner for doing that. Now, Nicolette, you're in the final 2 weeks of the Gift a Smile campaign. Can persons still win?
Absolutely, they can. So right now, about 4 customers would have already won $250,000 in cash. And that means we have another 24 customers to go. Mm-hmm. 22 persons would have already received their $50,000 in grocery vouchers. And, if you're listening right now, you may just be one of the lucky 10 persons remaining for our campaign. And, thanks for everything that you're saying. So,
Nicolette, if you could just repeat from 24.
$500 or more.
We lost you a bit there at 24. You still have 24, I think you said cash prizes to give away?
Yes, we still do.
Right, so pick up from there.
Okay, right. So we still have cash prizes to give away. We still have some grocery vouchers as well. We have about 10 lucky winners left of the $50,000 grocery vouchers, and we still have Samsung tablets available. And persons are able to get a chance to win by doing the same things that they do every single day, namely topping up with $500 or more, making a call for a minute or longer, purchasing any SIM from a Digicel phone, purchasing any handset as well. And if you're a postpaid or Digicel customer, simply just pay your bill on time and in full for your chance to win. And of course, if you are on another network, just switch to Digicel.
Of course. So pretty easy, listeners, viewers out there, to see how you can qualify for Digicel's Gift a Smile promotion. That's in its final 2 weeks. So, Nicolette, I want to segue before the time runs out as well to your general outreach programs they're happening at Digicel. Talk to us about those.
Those are ongoing. They will never, ever stop. You know, the Hurricane Melissa relief and recovery is not a 2-week, 6-week, or 8-week mission. We're going to be in this for the long haul. So we are out and about in communities in rural Jamaica, in central Jamaica, every single day, you know, just carrying out different care and relief packages. We have also partnered with the Ministry of Education to support their 10th school initiative, so look out for more on that later. That will be through our digital business arm as well.
Okay, so look out for that. Mommies and daddies out there, if you're in an affected area, your child is attending a 10th school, Digicel is hopping on board as well with the Ministry of Education to help in that regard, so look out for what is to come in relation to that. An incredible season of giving, really, Nicolette. Anything else that your customers, Jamaicans, can look forward to?
Definitely. So we are really closing out with a big bang. You know, we started off this campaign, lots of high energy, albeit not our typical high energy, but high energy and positive energy nonetheless. And we're going to end it on the same note. So on Friday, January the 23rd, we will be at Big Tree in downtown Kingston. There will be our usual gamut of games, surprises, and prizes happening right there.
All right, so guys, you wanna look forward to that. And for me, Nicolette, it's not too far. I'm right here with you.
I know, neighbor, so maybe we can go over together.
Yes, we can go over together. Any final words you want to give to listeners, your customers out there, where they may be able to find any information, especially in relation to the Gift a Smile promotion that you said it's in its final 2 weeks, and how persons can become eligible to win?
Okay, follow us on social media, on all social platforms at Digicel Jamaica. Visit our website at digiceljamaica.com. If you are a Digicel customer, simply dial 100 from your phone, or if you have WhatsApp, you can message us at 876-355-5000.
So that's 876-355-1000.
5000.
5000. 5000. Okay,
yes,
guys?
and there's one more important thing to note as well. I know that, you know, there are some nefarious persons out there who want to cause a little bit of mischief, but I want to assure persons, if you get a call from 619-5000, that's us. We will never call you from any other number. So if you see 619-5000 calling you, pick up the phone. You just might be a winner.
All right, there you go. So for those of you out there, you still want to be a winner, you have 2 weeks. You have that block. So go ahead and pay your bills and whatever else Nicolette was saying. You can also find the information on their social media pages so you can enter to win. Nicolette, thank you so much for coming on this morning, talking to us about Digicel's Gift a Smile promotion and all the other great things that Digicel is doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Nicolette McFarlane, Digicel's Head of Marketing. We're going to take a break here on NTM, and we'll be back with more.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:16.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
25 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 19 degrees Celsius.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Starting June 4, 2024, join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care. Tune in to Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday, January 15, as we broadcast from the official launch of the Shelter Recovery Program, a national initiative designed to support families affected by Hurricane Melissa. Help restore dignity, safety, and stability to their lives. This program marks the country's transition from emergency relief to long-term recovery, featuring a keynote address from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness with remarks from Colonel Charles Jr. and other senior officials and partners. So tune in to Cliff Views Online Thursday, January 15 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the reopening of the Shelter Recovery Program. Catch or broadcast live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or tune in to our station, Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Data Protection Matters is brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
When the drums fall silent, it's not peace, it is a warning, a signal we have stopped hearing. We live in systems, we trust in signals, but when those signals stop, that's when trouble begins. This is Data Protection Matters, powered by Design Privacy, and I'm your host, Chuka Emeka Cameron. We often assume that silence is a good thing. No news is good news, right? But in systems, especially systems of data, power, and decision making, silence is not comfort, it's concealment. Think of the drums, not just music but messages. In ancient times there were alarms, signals of danger, of death, of arrival, of truth. Today, our drums look different. They are risk reports, employee concerns, breach notifications, privacy laws, red flags in code or policy. They are designed to make noise, to disrupt, to demand attention. But what happens when the drums go quiet? Silence today doesn't scream, it shrugs. It looks like a breach no one reports, data used without consent, a decision made by an algorithm but no one can explain it. A team member stops raising concerns because why bother? Nothing breaks, nothing shakes, but something is already broken. The signal is gone, the beat is lost. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often whispers. Before collapse comes quiet. Before disaster comes the ignored warning. Before scandal, the brushed aside complaint. You see it in headlines after the damage. But if you look closer, there are always missed signals, minor breaches, ethical discomfort, delayed fixes, dismissed voices. The problem wasn't silence, it was deafness. People spoke, systems did not listen. Let's pause and ask, why do we have data protection laws in the first place? Is it just red tape? Paperwork? No. They exist to force systems to keep listening. Laws like breach notification, purpose limitation, impact assessment, transparency rights, these aren't just legal checklists. They are modern drumbeats. They demand attention before harm is done. Because without them, the drums fall silent, and silence becomes systemic. Data sovereignty isn't just about who owns the data. It's about who gets to speak, who gets a say, who can challenge misuse, who can demand an answer. Because when systems are designed to be silent, where you can't see, can't question, can't object, that silence may seem efficient, but it's unstable, fragile, poised for collapse. We need systems that make room for voice, not just control. The most dangerous kind of silence? The one we get used to. It happens when no one asks why, no one reports, no one explains. That's not trust. That's just untested risk. And it means that when the crisis comes, we're surprised because the system had gone quite long ago. Want a healthy system? Don't design for silence. Design for sound. Invite feedback. Protect whistleblowers. Treat discomfort as data. Make transparency normal. Because listening, real listening, is a governance choice, a design decision, a leadership act. When the drums fall silent, something vital is already gone. Trust, agency, the chance to fix what is broken. The future doesn't belong to the loudest systems, but to the ones that still know how to listen. This has been Data Protection Matters, and I'm your host, Chukwuemeka Cameron. Until next time, stay loud, stay listening, stay safe.
Data Protection Matters was brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care. Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday, January 15, as we broadcast from the official launch of the Shelter Recovery Program, a national initiative designed to support families affected by Hurricane Melissa. Help restore dignity, safety, and stability to their lives. This program marks the country's transition from emergency relief to long-term recovery, featuring a keynote address from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness with remarks from Colonel Charles Jr. and other senior officials and partners. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online Thursday, January 15 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the reopening of the Shelter Recovery Program. Catch or broadcast live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, or tune in to our station, Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're still tuned in to NTM, the number one show on Nationwide 90 FM.
Zongo, 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 zang.
Do you like cake?
Cake? I don't.
Outside of Christmas cake?
Yeah, man. Cake can go. Yeah, man. Cake no bad. Cake no bad at all. Cake no bad at all. Cake no bad. I'm glad you adjusted.
Do you have a favorite?
Yes. Well, I really like. No, I like chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake?
Yeah. I find chocolate cake to be, when it's good chocolate, but not a cocoa powder, like something. You know. Like chocolate cake rich and nice. They want chocolate cake. Yeah.
You T-Buzz, do you have a favorite cake? I like cheesecake.
Oh, yeah?
I like Christmas cake.
You know, it took me years to eat cheesecake. It's cloying. I don't know why.
So you don't have too much at one time.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So portions.
Clyde, man.
Yeah.
You see, even you weren't here. I brought up a box a cheesecake from Chocolate Dreams.
Yeah.
Was it day before yesterday?
You get a cake. You
get a cake. You get a cake. Like an Oprah style, eh?
No, that's exactly what Chocolate Dreams did.
Yeah.
Like everybody at Nationwide
get a cake.
Gets a cake.
So them share up the cake, you know.
Yeah.
I know a little bumper cake. Come on, give me, you know.
George,
what?
Come on now.
What you
got the biggest piece.
No.
Yes, you did.
How me forget the biggest piece? Explain that to me. What call biggest piece?
Because listen, we look on it in our match it out at the sizes.
Yeah.
And your own at a bigger one.
How?
It fats.
No.
Who cut up the cake?
My girl, when we hold up the cake so yesterday, I can't see through the cake.
No, man.
Come on, them dirty.
No.
I said to them, say, hold on, make one big cake on good on a this you give me?
Yeah. Listen, special good morning to Chocolate Dreams.
Morning, Michelle. At Chocolate Dreams. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Chocolate Dreams in 2004.
Yes, and listen, for all your cake, Chocolate Dreams. Yeah. All your sweet treats, say chocolate. Oh, you know what Chocolate Dreams does very well?
Yes.
Ice cream cake.
Oh.
So they make an ice cream cake. When I talk little ice cream cake, they what them say, what fudgy selling. No, we're talking about elaborate.
I've never had Chocolate Dreams ice cream cake.
Bad.
And it's crazy that you mentioned Chocolate Dreams ice cream cake, because it was maybe about 2 weeks ago I was having a conversation about that, and I was saying, listen, the ice cream cake that we're buying now, the cake part is so thin. And I remember when I was younger, it used to be thick and nice. So you know you're eating ice cream and cake.
Chocolate Dreams have that.
Oh.
And it
all right, so I need to try that out,
It can't stay in your
Michelle.
freezer if you buy one. It can't stay in your freezer.
Yeah.
You just go and just cut till it done.
I need to try that out. I need to try that out. But you know, you get all of your nice sweet treats over there at Chocolate Dreams. So if you're the person who, you know, it's Valentine's Day is coming up and you're a couple and you want your chocolate dipped strawberries for your girlfriend, your wife.
Yeah.
Or your mommy.
Yeah.
Your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Chocolate Dreams is the place to go.
Yeah.
But I still have my cheesecake. and it's in the fridge. And I'm going to show you that the slice is thinner than what you got. Is you cut the cake, right?
No.
Is who cut the cake? Michelle?
Listen, I was
You cut the
leaving.
cake?
I saw the cake. I took the cake and I handed over custody of the cake to Abigail Bartley.
So it's Abby cut the
and
cake?
she and her combo of them chop up the cake and give me one little bumper cake.
No.
Come on, I make this grand
You
presentation
got the
cake in
fattest.
a something. I say, come on, have a seat. You understand? No, sir. I have to go down.
We were chatting. I was like, George, get the biggest piece.
So Novlet Smith said, so what make chocolate cake, sir? Novlet, what I mean is this. Them take a little pack, a little cocoa something.
Some of them not rich.
And throw it in a something and box it round and bake it. That's what I talk about. I talk about chocolate cake.
Kimon is looking through the studio
Nobody
doors,
look for the
giving you
evil
the
eye,
side eye.
Simone. Nobody look for the evil eye, Kimon. Because you know what you do. You understand? Who wicked? Come on, tell the people I'm wicked. Go over to the side and talk to the people. Come. Watch her walk across the camera. Go on, Kimon. Go on. You don't go on, Mallory. Talk, defend the thing now.
Kimon, good morning to Kimon, our super editor.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, George.
Morning.
This is a real story
Yes.
of what happened on, which day was it? Tuesday?
Yes.
With the cake, right? I was the one who cut the slices.
Yes.
I was the one who shared the cake, right? I'm gonna cut your piece first.
That don't mean nothing.
George, wait. And I have witnesses. And I said, in cutting the cake, I'm gonna make sure to make George the biggest piece. Because I know say, him gonna complain, so him get the littlest piece. Thank you, no. See?
What is this? It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy this morning. It's a confederacy.
Thank you, Nora. Thank you.
That when the
No,
cake
Nora
was
don't need
being
mic.
cut, when the cake was being cut,
Hey.
they said cut George one first.
Eh.
And we said, shall I cut it? And we said, little more.
Little more meaning what? Cut off little more?
No, put more upon it.
Uh-huh.
You got the biggest slice.
Biggest.
And you couldn't sit through that.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a man who was witness to the cutting of the cake?
Mahiri
was there.
Mahiri was there.
When you buy out them man,
Thank you, ladies. George.
Listeners, may I get a fight?
No.
May I get a fight?
The
You see?
whole newsroom, she said, George, get the biggest slice.
Them plan for me this morning.
Michelle, anytime you're sending more cake from Chocolate Dreams, when it lands, George not get no more. George not getting any more. Because we have witnesses. And you get the biggest slice. Fat piece of cheesecake.
Well,
with George Davis named up on it.
If that are the biggest slice of cake, then we don't want to wear something to get.
But listen, it was real good.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
I
man,
haven't had my slice
slap,
yet,
man.
but yeah, man.
It's slap.
So big up to Michelle and the team over there at Chocolate Dreams.
Thank you again, Michelle. Thank you again. King, play a cake song, man. You go out, you know long we are waiting for you. Play a cake song, man. Grace Price said, George, me side with you. She
No,
knows you're true me attack.
No, Grace. You can't have so many people coming into the studio witnessing the thing. George got the biggest slice. I should have taken a picture.
Everything we do, me get a fight.
No.
Everything we do, me get a
So thanks so much to Nora and Kimon for coming in here and supporting me, man. Josephine says, George, you can't win with these ladies.
Can't win. We can't win.
And Sharon says, if Pastor Nora say, I saw it go, I saw it go.
Yeah, but you see now,
I saw it go.
they must know it's a reasonable piece of cake. What is reasonable? What do you mean by reasonable? No, sir, uno do me dirty. But it's all right. I bet say cake coming again. Michelle, I go send more cake. You know? Chocolate Dream, I go send more cake. Watch what we go on.
You're going to see what's going to happen.
Of course. I box, you know what I say. Empty box.
No.
Come show me Mr. King.
Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Roll it and pat it and mark it with a C. Put it in the oven for Carlos and me.
So somebody says, Tana, Uriel says, Tana, be careful before you look George. Could have moved with your size. Hello?
No.
Hello? I would not be a very happy camper today.
No, you know that now. You know that now.
No, George is not that type. And Jamaican for Life says, please video the next cake cutting.
Yeah, man. You see? Listen, she's smart. You know why? Because I'm saying, all we are hearing is testimony about the slice of the cake. Me get the cake and I say the littlest part is a bumper cake me get. Them not have no video evidence to show my piece of cake relative to the other pieces of cake. So we here you know. You see that when you know.
Good. Our producer says, George, is a cheesecake. But then again, you know, Michelle, he's going to have it in portions.
Exactly. A little piece here, a little piece there. Yeah. Boy, I tell you. I get a fight.
Charmaine says the best cake song. Yeah. Big up to Jermaine for that one. And Chandy says George is going to meet her at the elevator next time.
Remember that. I will tell them. A box alone, they must say. I tell them already. I'm saying it in public.
And Marvelly says, yes, man, evidence.
Yeah, we need a video.
We need evidence.
We need a video. So there's no video that we can't accept what them say. Yeah, man.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
It's birthday time now. Kickstart the birthday segment early so we can play some tune tonight.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:38.
Oh, Jah, here I and I answer to your cry. Yeah. Bless me, mighty Jaja, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jaja, bless me, yeah. Bless me, mighty Jaja, bless me, so that they can curse me. Bless me, mighty Jaja, bless me. Ooh, I'm in the midst of strangers, oh Lord. Strangers without love and mercy. Strangers without dignity. Strangers who don't want to live in harmony. Bless me, mighty Jaja.
Bless me. Somebody in the chat says, I wonder if Dr. Blake can spare one of the body cameras.
That's exactly why I laughed just now. Michelle, in time you're coming back to 14 Ocean Boulevard. If they will call the commissioner of police.
Hey,
ask for a body cam.
We'll take CP thing for Papa Show business.
Oh my goodness. But if it is that you're celebrating your birthday today, now is the time to hop on over into the YouTube chat and post those birthdays so that we can wish your friends, your family members a special one because it's birthday time.
But to all of that I must still stand strong, giving thanks and praise to the Almighty One, and looking forward to reach Mount Zion. And I man say, Zion, I'm coming home to you. Holy Mount Zion, I'm coming home to you. They said I don't have no rights in a Babylon, because I don't know how the West was won. Neither I can't change their plan. The West is controlled by the Ku Klux Klan. That's why I say, Zion, I'm coming home to you. Teach the youths them right, but not teach them wrong. Jackal up on the youths, cause the youths are strong. Look to Africa, that I feel your mama land. And down Africa, where you find Mount Zion. And I must say, Zion, I'm coming home to you. Say, Holy Mount Zion, I'm coming home to you. I care not what the people of this world want to say, neither what the people of this world want to do. Many are called, but the chosen of you. What you gonna do when Jaja call on you? I man say Zion, I'm coming home to you. Oh, holy man Zion, I'm coming home to you. I've faced a lot of trials and tribulation, but you all have that I man still stand strong. Still giving praise to the Almighty One and looking forward to reach Mount Zion. And I man say Zion, I'm coming home to you. The bingy man him says Zion.
Righteousness exalt the nation. When the righteous man move, I know the Eden plan. But Jah I wipe them out one by one. Oh, no, they gonna have it all. Oh, no, no, have it at all. Jah children of brimstone and no one. Oh, no, they gonna have it all. Oh, no, no, have it at all. Oh, no, fight against the righteous and fall. And nation divided by itself shall never fall. And up by St. Peter and up by St. Paul. His 20 black buckle sitting on the wall. And that color kind of one of the black buckle fall. What it decrease the race trying to rule us all. Black man stand up and be counted so your name shall be called. With the respect Vatican, now praise Pope Paul. Jah shall come with the whole of them with a lightning ball. Oh, no, gonna have it all. Oh, no, have it all.
I nice to see that man. Not a mercy, I never get mixed up with Pope Paul. And the way they look together like Vatican, all looks wrong. Keep it real. Not a mercy. Before them see God, them seek the devil. That's why them lie so miserable. But the killer say it's God and not the devil. And then this world will be comfortable.
And they praise Vatican 24/7. And don't praise the man that build the earth and the heaven. I'ma make the sun shine 7 to 7. I see earthquake and storm where you're dangerous sitting. Lightning and thunder, clap make you frightened. Volcano and lava burn you out to nothing. Man, all the fight is brother to gain title. War did start from Cain and Abel. Cain took a knife fighting in brother neighbor. Now is the time to live as God disciple. Killer say is God
and not the devil. And then this world will be comfortable. Them see that's why
The sound of Ewart Brown, aka
the Cabra Moon. I say give the youths a blind. Listen to their cry. Those are for them and them baggers and fire. Are we in the dark? After them alive. Some we have to get past again. Give the youths a blind. Listen to their cry. Those are for them and them baggers and fire. Are we in the dark? After them alive. Some we have to get past. Rains and roads. How wonderful it is.
peace. Oh, today, peace. While I'm balling, peace. Sing along, reggae music, peace. Oh, so.
Jam, make me hear it sound. Jam, make me run down road. Get that jam, make me hear it sound. Shake it tambourine, make it verbal frown. Get that jam, make me hear it sound. Tell me what them a go do fi move Bob Marley crown. Get that jam, make me hear it rebound. The music what we love, and another coffee we own. When the music hits, whether you feel no pain, no pain at all. But all you do is stabilize your body and your heart, your mind and it memorize.
Hey, King, pull up that. Hey, Tada. Beat man make up our word, you know. Beat it say, but all you did stabilize your body.
But all you do is stabilize your body and your mind and it memorize your brain. But it man a chant.
It's time to tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. To our friends over on Facebook, happy birthday to Carrie Ann Lee, Glenna Lodge, Owen Rose. Happy birthday as well to Ken Rayner.
Yes, my friend. Oh, Foundation, Nationwide Foundation, Keon Rayner, now the sports editor at the Television Jamaica, RJ Aguilera Communications, Television Jamaica, yeah? Keon Rayner, you're a special one, my friend.
Happy birthday
special,
to you.
Special one. Miss G did a good job with the boy, yeah? And Peter has taken on the role and done brilliant to well. Keon Rayner, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah. One more year on them. Yeah. Go on, one vibe. Give thanks for life. Next year we doing it again. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Whoa. One more year on them. Yeah. More life to your count there till the end. Real from the heart, no pretend.
Big birthday.
Bash. If I ever on the ground, nigga, splash. Give thanks for your life. Oh gosh, watch it, them make me go dip in at the stash. Drink and smoke so we frost. Turn up the sound box. Girl, them a bubble to the max. Everything well, cool and relax. So we send out the location. They a pass spot. We a pop champagne non-stop, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Yeah. One more year on them. Yeah. Go on, one vibe. Give thanks for life. Next year we doing it again. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. Whoa. One more year on them. Yeah. More life to your count there till the end. Real from the heart, no pretend. Yeah.
Also celebrating a birthday today, Alcian Francis. Happy birthday to you, Alcian. Happy birthday as well to Natoya Saunders. And happy birthday to Corvena Lambert. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a good one. I'm also seeing here in the chat, Carol sending happy birthday greetings to Dijon. Happy birthday to you, Dijon, from Carol, saying many, many more happy birthdays to you, my friend. So happy birthday. Seeing as well, this one says Wifestyle Politics, sending belated happy birthday to Dijon Dawes of Dijon Worlds. Happy birthday to you, belated happy birthday. And they are wishing you, well, hoping you had a good one. Also seeing here, Vivacious Verlene Hall Smith sending belated birthday greetings to Daniel Khan from the Wesleyan Holiness Church. So belated happy birthday to you. I beg your pardon, to Daniel Khan from Vivacious Verlene Hall Smith. And that's coming from her and your church family. Wesleyan Holiness Church there on Mannings Hill Road. And she's saying the church family wishing him all the best in the new year. And your birthday was on January 13.
Rosie Watt says, happy 31st wedding anniversary to Clement and Donna Lewis. Continued love and blessings. Clement and Donna Lewis, 31 years of togetherness. And a happy anniversary to you, coming from Rosie Watt.
Miss Sunshine sending happiest of birthdays to my beautiful niece, Khalees Talbert. May you enjoy your day to the fullest. We love you loads. From Alia and your aunt, Miss Sunshine. Also on the birthday list, Miss Sunshine was, this one, right. Khalees Talbert, 24 years old today. And there's also, I did say this one already, Dijon Dawes.
Yeah.
So belated happy birthday to you again, Dijon.
Don Walker says, happy birthday to Charmaine Stoney Tomlinson from Scary. Scary sending happy birthday greetings to Charmaine Tomlinson. All the best to you, Charmaine. Annie Smith says, Jermaine, oh gosh, them today are King Yellowman birthday, Jermaine. Oh gosh, Jermaine. You have to go find something, Dad. You have to go find something. You have to go find something. King.
I'm all alone, still you go. I was telling a lie. Are you satisfied? No one's with me tonight. Only Jah, and he's always by my side. Pretty little woman, don't you trust me no more? You don't have to break down my door. I'm all alone.
You know, I saw a video the other day saying Rothschild is from the US. I never knew that. I always thought Rothschild was Jamaican. The guy singing the It's weird. Yeah, man, that song will never be anything but big.
Yeah.
Big song. I never knew Rothschild was an American who came here, loved the reggae, and just made a career out of music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another
go on.
random hero sending belated happy birthday to Kevoy Gordon. His birthday was on the 9th, so belated happy birthday to you, Kevoy Gordon, from Random Hero here in the YouTube chat.
Hey, Lillian Chambers said, George is always so happy with absolutely great vibes. I think I'm falling for him. I love it.
But dear.
Trat.
A small question.
Good morning to you, Lillian. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Lillian. And Marvelly Daly sending happy birthday. Oh, it's Michelle Obama's birthday too.
Yes, that's what I must say.
The best first lady, Michelle Obama. So, acknowledging that one.
Yeah, Melody Cook says, happy birthday, my niece, Tamika Greaves. Or Graves. Let's go with Graves. Tamika Graves, happy birthday to you from your auntie, Melody Cook. She's wishing you all the best on this year's special day.
And Dahlia Lynn sending belated happy birthday to Dejan and granddaughter to Nita. So belated birthday. Greetings to both of them.
Well, no. Colleen Williams says, I've already dropped for George.
Wow. Ladies. Can I tell you? Good morning.
What?
But if you're celebrating your birthday today, it's your cake day. Happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating your anniversary, happy anniversary as well.
All right, we'll pull up that and then come with the Yellow Man tune. Yeah, man.
Well, this is Faye Ellington in the morning, right?
This was one that he did for Faye Ellington when she was one of the most popular broadcasters in Jamaica at the time. When Yellow Man dropped this for Faye Ellington.
Give me the morning ride. 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 You slip and you slide there when broke your backside. Slip and you slide there when broke your backside. No matter where you run, you just can't hide. And when you give me love, say me not go, say me cry. Just give me the morning ride. 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 You go till your boy.
She is a beast. Back when the art of DJing was about riding the rhythm. Listen to this, Tana.
Zungo, zungo, go, zungo, zen. Zungo, zungo, go, zungo, zen. Say if you have a paper, you must have a pen. And if you have a start, you must have a end. Say 5 plus 5, it equal to 10. And if you have both, you put them in a pen. And if you have a rooster, you must have a end now. Zungo, zungo, go, zungo, zen. Zungo, zungo, go, zungo, zen. Jump for happiness and jump for joy. You know fi call Yellow Man no boy. Lady and they used to take fit tire. Great guy lord him call him child. You know fi call Yellow Man no boy. You know fi call John no boy. You know fi take iron knife fi boy. Do you take this man for your lawful husband? Yes, I do. And do you take this lady for your lawful wife?
Yes, I do. I'm getting
married in the morning. Ding dong, you hear the church bell ring. She had me yellow baby, and I'm gonna mind it. So take me to the church on time. But you me man, say if you think I'm sexy, your little girl reach out and touch me. If you really need me, your little girl reach out and tell me. And give me your loving, give me your loving.
Hey.
Don't forget about the all night squeezing. Don't forget about the hugging and teasing. I'm getting married in the morning.
Rent a tile.
Every day you give me Pepsi. One to the left side, be a lag and style.
I'm searching.
Oh yeah.
I beg you do the right thing.
Boy, you fi send the right thing, I miss a chin. Boy, you fi send the right thing, every morning you get up in supermarket. All I see is flour and biscuit. Me can't get no flour in a brown paper bag. Say all I see is the plastic bag, miss a chin. Boy, you fi send the right thing, I miss a chin. You fi send the right thing. Say all you got to do your own thing. Say warm to the soft drink and I'm the kid. Never know Miss a Chin coulda sing.
Where him sing?
They never know
where him sing?
Coulda sing.
You Miss a Chin sing now.
Lang shang lang lang pai. Lang shang lang pai. Lang shang lang a picky pie pie. A picky pie pie po po. A Miss a Chin. Boy you fi send the right thing. A Miss a Chin. Boy you fi send the right thing. Him have one daughter she name Ting Ling. Hey, that the girl live a constant scream. Me make love to her. Yeah, she start sing. My queen. On blueberry. On blueberry. When I found you.
Go back in your bag now, Yellow. Go in your bag now, King Yellow.
The moon stays still. On blueberry. And lingers until my dreams came true.
I know you're enjoying the birthday party.
Well, I know. Winston Foster, 70 years old today.
Wow.
King Yellow Man.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Well,
Yeah,
I know.
man. Your music is cherished and loved. Yeah.
King, he's off that King. There's a Professor Nut song where he made fun of Yellow Man.
Oh.
Because he love make fun of people, you know.
Mhm.
So he was talking about Shelly Thunder on a bus with some DJs and they were misbehaving and she was just lashing out at people.
Yeah.
And she struck somebody. Yeah? And when she struck somebody, somebody's jawbone fell out in Yellow Man's hand. When Yellow pick it up, him say, you know, long me want one.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Professor. Naughty. Listen, we have to get out of here. You can put back up the music, Jermaine, as we go. Thanks so much to our technical operator and the musical maestro, one musical maestro, Jermaine King. Our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith. Our super editor in the newsroom, Kimon Thompson. And all of you this morning for engaging with us. And thanks so much to our sponsors. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana. He's George. Good morning.
Stay still.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
And